All right. So this is going to be a controversial video filled with a few minefields that I think that I'm going to be able to appropriately navigate. But a fair warning, this video is going to deal with themes of anti-vax sentiments, which I don't necessarily share, anti-Semitism, which I don't necessarily share, government conspiracies, which I don't necessarily share, and then also racism, which I don't necessarily share. I'm giving you this disclaimer at the beginning of the video to let you know that I do not share the sentiments with the people who we are going to discuss. If you have any questions about my personal beliefs on anything that we are discussing in this video, please reach out to me in the comment section. I'll always be honest with you about what my personal beliefs are, because that's just the type of person I am, and I believe that that's what we need. Now, getting to the topic of this video. Last night, well, over the past few days, I think it was since the weekend, sometime over the weekend, Robert Kennedy Jr. made an announcement that the CIA assassinated his uncle, which to me, because I've already known that, it really was a non-starter, meaning that I looked at it and I scrolled and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I slowly but surely noticed that more and more people were resharing and replying to his message saying, whoa, can you guys believe that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just admitted that? Hold on. Did everybody see what he just said? Bro, so we just now found out that the CIA worked to kill John F. Kennedy? And the reason that I'm slipping into that little surfer dude whoa voice is because that's been known for decades. And it's only a part of the point of this video. So it's been known for decades, and people are just now choosing to listen to what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said now, even though I'm pretty positive that he has said it many, many times in the past. So what makes it different now? And there's interesting history to Robert Kennedy and the assassination of JFK that goes further in depth beyond him just being the nephew. As a matter of fact, another organization that has been calling out the assassination of Kennedy and other people's as being performed by the government is the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam and Robert Kennedy Jr. have been working together for decades on anti-vaccination campaigns, specifically Robert Kennedy and Risa Islam, but also the minister has been involved in those projects as well. I like the Nation of Islam, so I have no problem with them. And I believe that there's a lot of misinformation that's put out about them. And this falls right into that. The reason that I bring them up and the reason that I bring those anti-vaccination campaigns, which I am not anti-vax, and I know that this video might get flagged or something like that for even speaking about these, but this is something that happened before COVID existed. You have to understand, these anti-vaccination campaigns with Robert Kennedy and Risa Islam were literally before COVID existed or before we knew about its existence. So that's my point, is that now, all of a sudden, the man who has been going on anti-vaccination campaigns globally for decades is trustworthy in this capacity, even though he's working with an organization that the average person or the media seems to discredit for sentiments of anti-Semitism. The anti-Semitism that they speak upon is the censorship of people like themselves and Robert Kennedy when they are speaking in the media about subjects like anti-vaccination or any other thing that may go against the grain or the common or generally accepted narrative. Now, I promise you this is all going to wrap up together by the end. So, works with the Nation of Islam, people who even before Robert Kennedy was speaking out about the assassination of his uncle, like when he was a little boy, the Nation of Islam was still talking about that. Here we go. Now, people, do you know why Malcolm X was kicked out of the Nation of Islam? I know that there are a lot of rumors that go around, but the fact of the matter, and the public statement that was released by the Nation of Islam, was that he was removed because of comments that he said that went against the rules. Specifically, when he spoke out about the assassination of John F. Kennedy, saying that it was chickens coming home to roost. What do you think that he meant by that? When he said that chickens coming home to roost, a member of the government was assassinated by members of the government, and we're just now finding this out in 2022, even though it was said, that was said very shortly afterwards. Things that make you go, So Malcolm was removed from the Nation of Islam because he wasn't supposed to speak out about that. I wonder why he wasn't supposed to speak out about that. Neither here nor there. We'll get to that later. Let's go and move forward to another event that is interesting. The assassination of Malcolm X himself. Something that just last year, the common public found out wasn't performed by the Nation of Islam, but was actually performed by government actors who infiltrated the Nation of Islam. I say that we just found that out last year because, yet again, people who knew have been knowing. It was just commonly accepted last year, and this is the most crazy part about it. You know why it was commonly accepted? Because the government told you that it happened. The government told you that it happened, so you said, whoa, the Nation of Islam didn't kill him. When the Nation of Islam said it didn't do it, they said it was the government, you didn't believe them. But when the government, the people who have been lying to you about everything, finally said it, then you believe them. And that brings me to my most important point of this video, is that it's never about the truth. You can, for people who conspiracy theorists or whatever, I'm not even a conspiracy theorist. Like, this is all knowledge that I've just happened upon through my travels and my studies in life. I'm not the type of person who's like, I must find the truth. I'm really not. And when I say all that shit, I'm saying that all of this stuff was obvious to me from the moment that I found out the information about it, because it's logical. It matches everything else that the government has done forever and the way that life operates, the laws of nature, humankind. It all made sense to me to find out that these people have been tricking you to maintain power and doing whatever they can, and these nasty PSY operations. And more than anything, I know that before I believe something that is blindly told to me, I would go find it out for myself. That is why I joined the Nation of Islam, even though everybody says they're so hateful and this, that, and the other and stuff like that. And guess what? I found my own truths about it. I'm no longer a member of the Nation of Islam, but I found my own truths about it. And I am a Muslim, and I found Islam through the Nation of Islam. And I went off to do my own thing about it. And I'm very happy about that. And this isn't a video to convert all of you. It's a video to say, why are people so afraid of raw information? They have to have it delivered to them in the safest fashion ever from people who they know have been lying and manipulating them since time immemorial, whatever the term is. Before you can remember, the government has been lying to you about everything that they can. So every time that a new revelation comes out about vaccines, assassinations, and the government is the one who told you, even though there are people screaming at you beforehand, this is the way that it is. Why are you not paying attention to this? A lot of people are like happy that the truth is just finally coming out. And yes, a part of me is happy. It's vindication. But it's not, it doesn't feel, it's so tainted when you've just been trying to let people know nonchalantly for so long, and you can't believe the common man standing next to you trying to give you proven facts. It's not like people are shooting at the stars here. When people talk about such big topics like these, like assassinations and the harms of vaccines that could potentially be there, they're coming with studied facts. And facts can be manipulated heavily. Data can be manipulated heavily. So I'm not telling you to blindly believe anybody. Question everything. But why is it always that when the government comes to you and tells you some shit, then it's like, whoa, finally the truth comes out? If you guys, and I can understand like an atonement, like hearing from somebody that they did something, like if somebody stole something from you and then they come back and they finally admit to you that they stole it to you, I get it. That's a process of atonement, but that doesn't have the same vibe as this. It's not like, we knew it was you the whole time, government. Now that you finally told us, what are you going to do about it? And how are we going to make sure this doesn't happen in the future? It's not like that. It's more like Hey, Debo, that's my bike. And Debo's like, what bike? What bike? Then finally later, he bring the bike back around like, I'm done with it. You can have it back now. Like, that's how the government and people in power muscle you. The media, that's how they muscle you out of information. Information that will help you live a better, more truthful, more beneficial, productive life. And there's incentive behind that. Something that you should maybe pay attention to. I don't even think I hit all the points that I wanted to in this video because I could literally talk about this subject forever. Have a good day.